Imagine you have a documentary with inflexible deadline and there are tons of interviews which you need to transcribe. Previously, this was done manually and it was very time consuming. Nowadays, with tight budgets and time constraints, you go hunting for a software which will do the job for you. You subscribe to the software hoping it will ease your work so that you can concentrate on more creative aspects of filmmaking. And then after having paid a heavy sum and spent times on uploading the files to transcribe, you realize that what you're getting in the form of transcription is 50% garbage. And this is exactly what happened with us. We needed to transcribe 10 hours of interviews in Hindi to do the paper edit. So, paper edit is the first stage of organizing your data to create the first cut. And to do that, we need to transcribe all the interviews and extract the best bites from the transcription. But our paid software failed miserably at it. Many of the paragraphs were missing, and many sentences have words from other languages like Chinese, Japanese, Russian, etc. And we had a deadline to meet, so what choices are we left with? Either we manually write all the missing parts and correct the transcription and spend more time than available, or find another transcription software and hope that works better than the previous one, or you can create your own transcription software using free AI models. And that's exactly what we did. Hi, I'm Shashwat. I hope you're having a really great day. Today we are going to explore how we use open source AI models from Hugging Face to create our own transcription software. Hugging Face is a repository for thousands of AI models, and it keeps getting updated every day, and more than most of them are free to use. But to use these models, we first need to create an account on Hugging Face, and it's very simple to do so. Next, once we have created an account, we need to create an access token that allows us to use these models from Hugging Face. For that, we go to Access Tokens over here. Next, we need to create an access key. To do that, click on Create New Token. In the token type, select Read. And now let's assign a token name. Let's call it HF token. And press Create Token. This is going to create the token. This is sort of like a password. So copy and paste it somewhere safe for now. Let's say on a text editor. Now let's browse for some models. So up here, click on Models. And over here in the left side, in the Filter section, scroll down to the Audio section and click on Automatic Speech Recognition. This just filters down all the models that we can use for transcription. But the model that I used is this. Up here in the search bar, type AI for Bharat. And down here in the organization, select AI for Bharat. These guys make some good AI models for South Asian languages. Now over here in the collection, expand collection and open Indic Conformer. Here we have 22 Indian languages to choose from. We have Assamese, we have Bengali, we have Bodo, Dogri, Gujarati, Hindi, Kannada, Kashmiri, etc. We also have Sanskrit, we have Tamil, Telugu, Urdu. So we have a lot of languages and we can use any of these models. So let's select the Hindi model. Over here, it also shows us how to install and use the model. But I will be showing you the script that I use to run the model. And that script can be modified to run any of these models. It's basically reusable. So now let's look at the script. Now I will be running this on Google Colab. But if any of you folks have any knowledge of coding, and if your machines can run these AI models locally, then you can translate this script and run it locally. Or maybe you can even create your own scripts. So this is the script that we'll be running. But before we do that, let me give you some knowledge about Colab. First, Colab is free to use, but you are limited by the amount of hours that you can use. Second, you are limited by the computation power. So we can use CPU here where we get more hours, but it's unable to run AI models because it quickly runs out of RAM. We can use this GPU, which is faster, but we have the same RAM issue, and we can only use it for about 4 hours. Finally, we have this TPU. I guess it's fast or maybe faster than CPU, but it's definitely slower than GPU. And here we only get about 3 hours of runtime, but we do get a lot of RAM. And we can also purchase this additional GPU or TPUs where we can get more RAM, GPU and runtime. But I'll just be running it on TPU. So press save and over here press connect. Next, in the left side, click on this key icon. This is where we type our access token that we created in Hugging Face. So just click on Add New Secret, type the name that we use for our access token, and over here, copy and paste the token ID that we saved in Notepad. And then activate it. Now underneath the secret key, click on Files. Click on this button to upload the WAV file that you want to transcribe. Press OK. Now let's listen to this WAV file. This is a sample from the novel Ama, written by Chitra Mudgal and narrated by Shaili Mudgal.
चैप्टर 1। प्लेटफॉर्म नंबर 4 पर देखते ही देखते आ लगी चर्चगेट लोकल की उफनाई चली आ रही भीड़ से टकराती, सकुचाती, दूसरी ओर 5 नंबर पर छूटने को तैयार खड़ी विरार लोकल के ठीक मध्य में स्थित महिलाओं के दूसरे दर्जे के डिब्बे की ओर वो प्राणोप्राण लपकी। गाड़ी छूट जाने की आशंका से बदहवास टांगे मानो बाधा दौड़ नहीं रहीं, पींगे भर रहीं, और डिब्बा है कि उसकी पहुंच से परे अगले की संभावना में परिवर्तित हो आंख में चौली खेल रहा।
Now this is actually a 3-minute clip, but I'm just playing a few seconds of it to save time. Now let's have a look at the scripts. This one install all the files that we need to even use the script. It's sort of like installing the software. Press this to run the script and install. And once it's done, it will ask to restart. Do so and run it again. Down here, we need to import the necessary Python libraries. Now let's run that. Next, we need to run this to download the model. Now this is one of the scripts that you can modify based on the AI model that you want to run. That is, if you want to run this model, just click on this icon here to copy it and paste it here to change the model and then run the script. But I'll continue to use Hindi. Now this is why you want the HF token, Hugging Face token. So grant access. Now this allows Colab to download model from Hugging Face. Now let's leave it be while it downloads. We know it's done once we see the check mark over here. Scroll down. Now this is our main script. This script defines the file path, basically where to load the audio file from, and next it converts this audio file into 16 Hz wave file. This is basically so that the AI model can easily understand and compute. It selects which decoder we want to use, and finally it gives us the output, which is our transcription. Let's run this. Below that, we have these two decoders. We have CTC, which is faster but not 100% accurate. It's about 90% accurate from what I have seen. Below that, we have RNNT. This is more accurate than CTC, but is definitely slower. And here we can select the language ID. The language ID depends on the language model that you're running. For example, we are running this Hindi model, and so the language ID is HI. If you are running the Assamese model, the language ID would be AS. Similarly, if we are running the Bengali model, the language ID will be BN, and so on and so forth. So you only need to change the language ID if you are using that particular model. Now in the next line, rename sample.wav with the name of the audio file that you uploaded, and then run the script. Now I'll be running both the CTC and the RNNT so that we can see the difference. So I'll pause here and come back once it's done. Over here we can see that the transcriptions are done. This is the transcriptions, and we can see that the CTC has some spelling mistakes. And we can see that the RNNT doesn't have any. So this is definitely the difference between them. Also, the CTC took about 2 minutes 46 seconds. Basically, we can say about 3 minutes. And CTC took about 5 minutes 45 seconds, so roughly 6 minutes. So this is one of the things you need to take into consideration. If you have a bigger file, like this was only a 3-minute long file. If you have a longer file, it's going to take a longer time to transcribe. For example, an 18 to 19 minute file is going to take about an hour to transcribe. Then again, I ran that on a TPU because my GPU RAM filled up quite fast and it kept on crashing. But if you are using an upgraded version of Colab, then you may use a higher GPU and you can get it done faster. So now we just need to copy the transcription. Paste it somewhere like Google Docs or any other word software that you use. Let's remove the highlights and change the font to black. You can adjust the font size or even the font type, and we are done. Now, this process may not be as fast as the purchased transcription software, but then again, most transcription softwares, they don't have good AI models for South Asian languages. Nowadays, most AI transcription softwares come built in with most DAWs and editing softwares. DaVinci Resolve has it, and just recently Steinberg released its new Nuendo 14, which can do transcription for ADR. And they are multilingual, but they don't support Asian languages all that much as of now. So that's why we had to create our own transcription software. The Colab project is available to use, and I'll provide the link in the description below. Please do let us know how accurate the other languages are, because we are only sure about Hindi. That's all for today. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and ring that bell icon. Until next time, see you.